each operate from the BIOS program that check the hardware and that has the location of the bootstrap loader. This bootstrap is in the read-only memory, so you will not lose such a program even though you turn off the power. Then this bootstrap the loader, I think one of the students asked what is a group. Group is the example of the bootstrap loader in the Linux system. So sometimes when you turn on the operating system, Linux system, you can see the different the version of the kernel, 2.4 something, 2.0, 2.1. You can select that is the bootstrap loader. Long time ago, when I used the Linux with the Windows system, I need to do the dual operating system. So dual booting. At that time, there is a program that's the same program as the group in Windows system that's called the anti-loader. So from the anti-loader, I can select either the Windows or the Linux system. So that is what have done the long time ago. Nowadays, so you don't have to do the multi-dual the operating system. Instead, you can use virtual machine. So it is still even nowadays right now many of the students use the Windows old version of Windows. For example, I do not have the license for the Office 2013, but I have an old one. So at that time you can install the Windows 2000. So with the virtual machine, then you can use it. You don't have to dual boot. You don't have to use such a bootstrap loader. Then it points the kernel. Then finally your kernel will be loaded. However, the Windows has one more step. It's a two-step process. Like in the hard disk drive, it has the location of your operating system. That is called the master boot record, MBR. Okay. So Windows has one more step in the hard disk drive. So that's the reason when you set up the BIOS program on your PC, IBM the comparable PC, like the Windows PC generally. So you need in the BIOS program you need to decide where is the booting the disk or the booting location. The location, that partition has the master boot record. That boot record is a small, the 4 byte, I think. So small area, small size, then that point to your operating system. That is a two-step process. Okay, so that's the end of the chapter 2, which means we are ready to learn the operating system from the next week. Before we move to the chapter 3, we'd like to have the first exercise lab, that is the Unix command. So right now it's 10:07, it's roughly 40 minutes. Okay, so Xiang will be in charge of the lab. Why don't you bring your laptop? If you do not bring your laptop or out of battery, you can share with your friend. So anyway, today we cannot do the practice detail and everything. Is just the taste of the new operating system. So if you already know or if you are familiar with, you can proceed. Also, one more thing is the next class, next exercise that we will learn. Why don't you set up over here? Also, there are two ways to edit the file in this class. One is we are going to use the VI. Anyone who are familiar with the VI? 1, 2, 3, not many. So it's a good time to practice your VI. Still, if you join any project, as long as they are using the Unix or Linux-based operating system, so you should be familiar with the VI editor. VI is not the old-fashioned; it's gone. It's still used a lot, and also it looks like a professional. If you are able to use the VI, VI is a very, very powerful tool to edit the plain text in the file. Okay, so you will learn how to use a VI. Also, if you are not familiar with the VI, you can use the editor provided by the Debian OS. It's a Gedit. It's a graphical user interface. It's click, click, click. But I strongly suggest to be familiar with the VI. Definitely, it needs your the practice after that. Even though the Xiangxiang will introduce later, the next class, next exercise lab, but I strongly suggest to practice by yourself to get familiar with the VI. Otherwise, later for Unix programming or Unix shell programming, sometimes it takes some time to edit the file using the editor. Also, I realized that if your VM player is not working very well sometimes, check the service. If we are using the Windows system, the service program should be running VM player service in your service. So why don't you can turn off and turn it on, or if you're the VM player service, also I think the VM player authentication service is not enabled, you cannot use your VM player. Okay, go ahead.
So in the lab, I am using the VM player here, and I'm using the Debian 8.1. You can choose operating system you like. You don't need to use Debian SP. And now I log in. And here we open the tab. How we can use the file. Here's the workspace. And we can open terminal here. So now we log in the terminal. And here is the files and directories of the Linux. It's similar as the Mac OS if you have been using it. It's different with the directories of the Windows. In here is the system directory. It's bin is for the binary of the files, and the user is compare some information of the user. And the others you can find device file, the driver, and something else. And in Linux, the place is the forward slash, but in Windows we use backslash. And here is some command and the Linux. The first is date. We use this command in the terminal. That is date. It shows date here. And you can put some options to change the format of the output for here. I just showed the month and of the hour of the post. Oh, sorry. So you can see here, you can choose what you like to the format. And for any option, you can use the help to find the option and the comment for here. By using help. And there is the other comment. Here is the calendar. Calendar is used for show the calendar for today or for this month. You can show the other year like 2015, or you can show other months. like last year. And here is the echo. Echo is very useful. It's similar with the print or printf in Java or C++. So in here we can just echo hello world. It's print hello world here as you print. You show the space and you end with the enter. However, if you want to print the enter, you can use the quotation mark. But now here is a quotation mark and there is not. And I can print other like line 2. So you show 2 lines here. You can enter the new line character. You can use the single quotation mark or double quotation mark. It's different, but I will talk about later. And here's who is used for show the user of this system. But not just me. And you can use who and I to show who is the user of the current. Now it's me. And there's a little mistake. If we want to show the current working directory, you choose pwd. You can choose the place of the current working directory. However, it's a mistake, so save it. And tty is show the terminal, and actually it's show the page. And then the binary calculator. You use BC to enter the calculator. And now we can use 2 plus 3 to show 5. 1 multi-4 is 4. Also, you can use semicolon, like 1 plus 1, 2, 3. You can show 2 answers by the semicolon. And you use quit. You can return. And here is clear. Clear. If you don't like it, clear. And the manual. Manual is send is help, as I say. Like BC. You tell anything about BC and options. So if you don't understand any comment, you can use man. And list as ls. Oh, there's. So in ls, you can show any file and directory in this directory. And here is some option for show the details, like you can show periods and the date and the user and the name and the size. D is mean directory, R is mean you can read, Y, W is mean you can write, X is mean you can execute. And the next is pwd, as I say. And you can create a new directory as nkdir. For now, like we create a new one, like new one. Oh. So here is the new one directory. And change directory like cd. So we can use new one. So we enter the new one. And we can use cd space double period, we can return. And now we don't want it, so we remove S3 and W3 and DIR to remove. So there is not new one. And that is the cat. Cat is for create a new file. Now, as I said, cat gradient AAA, and we can enter anything like anything you enter will improve the AAA file, as I see here. And now, if there is no gradient symbol, it's useful to show this file. Here's the content of the AAA. And in the Linux, the gradient symbol is change output. Usually, your output is the script, but we can change to the other files. So now I changed AAA to new file as BBB, and we show BBB is the same as AAA. So here is similar with copy, but there is another common as CP is being copied with copy AAA to CCC. So CCC is the same with AAA. And here is the sort. Sort is very useful for files. You can sort the files by name, by date, by period, by any period, and you can sort by you can sort by key, by output, by table. You can change the location and the date, but it's too complex. And here is the copy. You can copy the file to another directory. And here's the move. Move is the similar with copy, but you will remove the source file. And here is the interesting use as we move AAA to DDD in the same directory. Here is DDD, but not AAA here, because it removed the source file. So we can use move as rename. Also, you can remove the directory as just remove. You do not use R and DIR. And here's the WC is to count, of file. Oh, there's no AA. So here's 3 lines, 3 words, and 29 characters in the BBB. Here is the option. And page is for display the contents of the page file. We don't use it. And here's the head. Just display the top 10 lines of the file. And tile is similar with head, and more is showed more page. And here's grep. Grep is very useful. It is used for search. Now I grep B in BBB. it showed this line in BBB. And the graph, you can use the regular expression in the graph. So in BBB, we have BCD. So we can use graph BC in BBB. So it should be all C in here. And pipe, pipe is for use 2 comment or more. And the output of this one will be the input for the second one. For here, first we show who, you show the user, and then it will be the input of the WC. So this comment is used for count how many users in the system. So we can use ls and pipe WC. Oh, sorry. So here it means there's 20 files in these directories. And TR is translate. You can change any character to other character. In here you change lowercase to uppercase. And IO is the less than symbol and greater than symbol. Less than is used for the input. Greater than is used for the output. And here ls, ls is list, and you change output to this file. So here we ls to ls.txt. And in ls.txt, here is all files. And here is the input. So we echo, and from the ls.txt, oh, sorry. Here is the change for input the echo. And the pipe, as I said. Here is the end of the lab 1. That's it, thank you. So, do you have any question? No? Okay, thank you.